In this video, let us talk about functions. Function is a piece of program code which performs a specific task, maybe a small task, but it performs it completely. It takes some input as parameters and return the result as a return value. Functions are useful for procedural programming or modular programming. If we write a function, then we can reuse it in our program multiple times. We can use it, and even we can use it in other programs, and also we can share it with other programmers. And the collection of functions, we call it as a library. Like C++ languages provides a lot of built-in functions in their library, and we commonly use them for making our programming easy. Let us see how we write the functions and what is the idea behind writing functions. See, every C++ program must have a main function, so I am writing void main. Even we can write int main also here, but I am writing void main. So we know that this is the entry point of our program, and our program executes from here only, and whatever we want we write on the code here. Suppose I am writing the code here. Now just listen this carefully. If I have a very big program, I have some 10,000 lines of code, then everything I am writing inside main function only. Then if you have a single function, then this style of programming is called as monolithic programming. And if you write the program like this, let us see what the problems we face. First problem, if there is an error in a single line, then it's an error in the entire program or entire main function. Second problem, 10,000 line of code, I cannot finish it in 1 hour or 1 day. It may take few days, and throughout the time I should remember everything, then only I can make changes or write new lines in the program. So memorizing the whole program. Then the third thing, how many people can write this one single main function with everything, 10,000 lines here? Only one person can write. We cannot make it as a teamwork and more than one people are working on the same main function. Not possible. So work cannot be distributed in a team. Now the fourth problem, when this program becomes very big, it may fit in some computer memories, it may not fit in some computer memories. It depends on the size, and that depends on the hardware configuration of the computer on which you are running. So these are few problems due to monolithic programming. Monolithic means everything as a single unit, the complete program as a single unit. So what we prefer is, let us break the program into pieces, manageable and small pieces and reusable pieces. Then the benefit is, I can develop it piecewise, so I can concentrate on one piece at a time, one piece of code at a time. Second thing, the pieces can be distributed among a team of programmer, and they can develop some set of pieces, and we can collect them together and make it as a single program. And definitely the main will be integrating all of them directly or indirectly. Then one more thing, when we are running on some computer, then we can load and unload the pieces that we require, so we don't have to have a very large size memory on the computer in which we are running. So all the problems are solved. So this is nothing but modular programming. This can be done using functions. So let us see how to write a function. First of all, function should have a name, function name. Function name must be there. Then it should have parameter list, or also called as argument list, what all the parameters it is taking. Then function should have a return type. What value it is returning, it should have the data type of that value here. So functions are identified by their name, and this becomes input to the function, and this is the output of a function. A function can take 0 or more input, means it may not take any input also. It depends how you are writing a function, what purpose you are writing a function. Then it may return or may not return a value, but it can return at most one value, just one value. A function cannot return multiple values, but it can take multiple values as input, but the output should be only one. If the function is not returning any value, then the return type should be void. Now one more thing, how the function name should be. The rules for giving function names are same as the rules of giving variable name. How you give variable name, same way, same rules you should follow for giving function name also. Now let us write one example function and use it in our main function. I will write main function. Now here I will write one function void display. The function name is display and it is not taking any parameter, so I can leave it empty. This is the function name, this is parameterless, nothing is there, and the return type is not returning anything. Then inside this I will write cout hello. Just this is a wishing message. Now from here, this is the way we call a function, display. So the function will be called. So inside the main function, I am not doing anything, just calling the main function. So let us see how it runs. See, when the main function starts, it will come to this line. So it will go here and execute this and return back and continue the main function. So if I have few lines here and after this also, so the first line and the second line, third line and fourth line. So after first line, it will go to second. So second line, it will execute this, return back, and it will continue with third and fourth line. Now one important thing, that inside the functions avoid user interaction, that is a see in and see out. It's a bad function. You should avoid using see in, see out inside the function. So the function should not interact. So the idea behind that I will tell you. Suppose there is an organization, so main is a manager or the owner of a business, and this is his employee, displays the employee. So who called the employee? Manager has called the employee here for some work. So who should contact or who should communicate with the clients of a business or the customers of a business? Manager or the owner should interact. So see in, see out is like communication with the client. So communication client is, who is client here? User. So through main function only the communication with the user should be done. All other functions must be just supporting the main function. So they should not have see in, see out in them. This is a good practice, so you should avoid it. But for explanation purpose, I may be writing see and see out. Okay, just for explanation purpose. But when you really develop the application, don't have interactivity inside the functions. Let me write few more functions and show you. I will write a function for adding two numbers, simple function. So add is the name of a function. It has to take two parameters. You can give any data type here, but to make it simple for understanding, I am always taking integer type. So two integer values, I have given the names as x and y. Now after adding them, it's going to return the result. The result is going to be of type integer only. So the return type of a function is also integer. Now here what I will do is I will declare one variable z, then I will say z assign x plus y. I am just making it a little lengthy. Then say return z. So the value of x and y is added and the result is stored in z and the z value is returned. Let us write a main function and use it. So I will write void main. Just to separate them, I will draw a line. Here I will have two variables, a as value 10 and b value as 15. Then also I will have some variable c. Then I will say add, I will send these two values a and b. And whatever the value it is returning, this return value z, I will take it in C. Then here I will say cout sum is C. That's it. So this is a main function which is calling this function. Let us see how this works inside the main memory. So I will draw the diagram of the main memory and show you. See, we know that the memory is divided into three sections, that is code section and the stack and heap. So this working is very, very important for you. Watch it and remember it for always. See, there are two pieces of code. So code section will have the code for add function as well as main function. So the machine code will be also in two pieces. We wrote it in two pieces, that will also be in two pieces. See, mostly people believe that the machine code of this add function will be copied at this place. No, machine code will be separate. Two different pieces will be there. Now, program we are running. So this is there inside this code section. So the program is loaded in the code section. Now let us see the working. Main function start. The first line says that it needs variables for A, B, C of type integer. So memory for A and B and C will be allocated. So these bytes are belonging to main function, and this we call it as activation record of main function. And A is having value 10 and B is having value 15. C is empty and that is having some garbage value. Now next there is a call to function add. So the control goes to add. The moment the function is called, then for this function also activation record is created inside the stack containing all the variables used here, X, Y and Z. So X and Y and Z. 3 blocks are created for 3 variables. Now from here what is passed? A and B. So A value goes into X and B value goes into Y. So this 10 goes into this one and 15 goes here. Now next line, this is already done. This is completed, right? So now Z assign X plus Y. So these two values are added and 25 is stored here. Now return Z. This line is over. Return Z means this value is copied in C, because here if you see, this return value will go into C here. Whatever the function is returning will go into C. So C will contain 25. And once the function ends, it reaches here. Once the function ends, its memory inside the stack will be removed. So its activation record is deleted. So this means we understand that whenever function is called, the memory for all the variables used in that function is created inside the stack, and when the function ends, all that memory will be cleared automatically. And one more important thing, if this function had allocated some memory in heap, that will not be deallocated automatically. Function should release it by saying delete. So new, if it says and get the memory in heap, it must be deleted. So anyway, back to this one. So the function ends. Now the control come back here. Now still main function memory variables are there inside the main memory, inside the stack. Now C out some C. So here 25 is displayed and function main ends. Once the function main ends, its activation record or the memory for all those variables will also be cleared. So this is how the working of the function, and we will write many functions. So practically I will show you some functions, and I'll give you some challenges for writing some functions.